Okay. All right, we good. All right, Shalom.
Well,
First of all, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, man. Yeah, I got the brother Itazwam and Haran. Okay, and we're here real quick. We're gonna go into this article here, okay, concerning the prophecies taking place around the world, man. Okay, you have, which brothers should all know this, Second Esdras, okay, the 15th chapter, Second Esdras, the 9th chapter. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can share my.
yeah, it's good.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna just before I read the article, brothers want to say anything, add on, just go from there.
Now let's get to it.
Spirit, we just want to, just touch on the prophecies, man, because hey, that's the times that we're in. That's what we're supposed to be watching for. That's what we're supposed to be, day in and day out looking for. And that's how we, measure the times, as it says in Second Ezra, the 9th chapter. That's how we measure the times of our salvation. And the Lord has given us the Spirit and the eyes to see these things. So it's our job as the watchmen of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai over the sheep to bring these things out, man. Because hey, these people in this world, they don't see what's going on. They don't even care. And that's why the Lord said that He's going to become like a thief in the night unto them. But unto us, we know perfectly that the day of the Lord, is coming like a thief in the night, which is why we watch these things, man. Hey, and you can't speak against what's happening in the world. You got the mainstream media, like we're about to get into. You got media talking about it, man. All right, so these are biblical events, all right, prophetic events that are happening, all right, in these times. Why? Because this is the time of our salvation, all right. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's the time of Esau's kingdom going down. So hey, we're just gonna get right into it, man. Lord willing, it's edifying into the elect.
Done.
All right. So it says this is on RT News. It was published October 21st, 2019. It says
again. It got blurry again.
Oh, it got blurry again?
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll load in. I'm gonna just read it. So as long as they can hear it, that's what matters. It says, world in flames. Why are protests raging around the globe?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it says protests and demonstrations have rocked every corner in the world in recent days, with tax hikes, corruption, and supposed environmental injustice all raising public anger. Why have they spread? It says, watching the news over the last week, one would be convinced that the world has developed into a series of flashpoints with corrupt governments across the political spectrum facing the wrath of their enraged citizens. To be fair, that's not far from the truth. So it says the governments, okay, are facing the wrath of their enraged citizens. And as we just read, what are some of the reasons why this is happening? High tax, okay, and basically environmental injustices, man. Because really the cause for a lot of this is money. Okay. Now here it is. Things are getting so expensive that what might take you 1 week's worth of a paycheck to pay for it, now you got to save up double that, but your job isn't giving you a raise to cover it. So now you're like, yo, it's getting so difficult, and it's causing people.
Scripture, I got precept real quick just to back you up. Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And a way that they mourn, as we can see now, is not only just being vexed or being upset, but they're actually taking the course of their action is standing in their power. Okay, they're rising against their governments. And this isn't something that's by coincidence, because if it was, there wouldn't be all these articles about how it's happening simultaneously around the world. Okay, these are prophecies, man. This is prophetic. All right, and the things that and look, man, I noticed the Lord really turns things up when you pay attention.
I think the brother froze. Hold on.
Oh, brother, for cars.
Yeah,
What
yeah, there you go.
think
Okay.
much expensive? What happened?
Hey, Bakar.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit, so I don't know
Yeah.
if you said something.
Oh, Salak. Yeah, I was saying that with us going into the fourth quarter economically, things are getting more and more expensive. Okay. And so with that happening, we're gonna see how people are gonna react to that because you have this whole thing with Trump going on. All right. But then again, you have getting to Christmas, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. That's when people like to do a whole lot of shopping. But things are getting so expensive now that it's almost going to become impossible to do that. The economy is going into a recession, a slowdown, into a collapse, and you have the I believe it was the World Banks or so saying that they need a fiscal um I forget the word they used, but it basically means that the government needs to they need to put policies into place to reduce interest rates, all right, and change the taxation in order to help the economy because that's how bad it's gotten.
Hey, not to forget all these businesses that are shutting down too, and that's a lot of people going out of losing their jobs. So you got
Hmm.
while you got the economy slowing down, you got things getting more expensive. People are also losing their jobs at the same times. At the same time, simultaneously. So that's even going to put more stress, especially during the fourth quarter where it's holiday season, where people like to buy and sell the most, and the economy is supposed to gain most of its revenue during this time. All right, but you have it to where
Done.
what the Lord is bringing the mirth of this place down, man. He's bringing
Hmm.
the stability of America is crumbling day after day, man.
Hmm.
And that's why you got because people are not feeling stable anymore in this place. All right, America's riches is Mafia. So because people don't feel stable with the economy, what are they doing? They're revolting. They're rising up. They're protesting. They're having demonstrations. All right, and like you said,
Hmm.
well, like the scripture says, in the course of their action is standing in their power. They're not caring about what the government says. And one of the reasons why is because they don't trust the government, as it just said, corrupt governments. Okay, so if you
Hmm.
got your
Mhm.
people, the people thinking that the government is corrupt, that's the same thing. What happened with ancient Rome? The citizens didn't trust in the government, and you had uproars. So Esau,
Mhm.
in his folly, all right, in his deceived heart, he set up the same kingdom all over again. It's going to go down all over, and it's going to go down all over again. But this one is going to be even worse.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Beautiful. All right. So keep going. I just pulled it up on my phone to let the connection move better.
oh.
Okay.
Um. So it says here. Four continents have seen anti government demonstrations over the last week, many of them sparked by seemingly innocuous taxes or changes to the law. In Lebanon, protests have set Beirut ablaze in response to a proposed fee of 20 cents per day on internet voice calls, dubbed the WhatsApp tax. Chileans set metro stations on fire following a $1.17 increase in public transport fares, and the streets of Ecuador are filled with rubble after a planned removal of fuel subsidies triggered mass protests. So once again, you're hearing about is money, money, money. Okay, and they're going crazy over this. How much more when the actual economy collapses? Okay, they're going crazy over increases, which it does take a toll. But if you notice, these aren't peaceful protests. These aren't protests with let's hold up banners and let's talk about it. No, they're setting things on fire. Okay, they're vandalizing, they're destroying things, and then you have the police coming out in riot gear. And this is also a way of desensitizing the people to where it's looking common to see police in riot gear because of all these things happening. So the next level of riot gear after enough chaos is going to be police with lethal force, okay? Deadly
Mm-hmm.
weapons. They're going to be given that access because they're going to allow the people to get so crazy that now it seems as though you cannot control them unless you actually start putting them down.
God. Yep. Hey, they already got the curfews going on.
Yep.
in different parts of area. In Chile, you had them in Hong Kong. You got a couple years ago, you had them in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, once again, man, these things are happening right before our eyes. So
Mm-hmm.
as you said, they're this is all a problem reaction solution. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're trying to usher in that new police state, under the guise of the new world order. So what keeps the world in order? The economy, and the
Mm-hmm.
economy is global. Is global connected. So how do you get the world to become disordered? Is by fucking with the economic system,
That's right.
because ultimately it's all manipulated anyway. All right, but Esau, being once again the devil and being deceived himself, he thinks that he can manipulate this economy and bring this world system down, and then bring up a next world system where he is the actual God of the people. Says when he thinks he fill his belly, then shall
Mm-hmm.
the Lord strike him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Hey, real quick, also you gotta also understand that every single year after that so-called Bilderberg meeting, things start to pick up, and we
Mm.
talked about it this year. How as soon as the Bilderberg meeting is over, we gotta expect certain things, and I fully personally believe through the spirit that this is all orchestrated because they tried this before. All right, they tried this before during the before Trump was even elected into
Yeah.
office. They were doing that whole Black Lives Matter and all this Trump stuff, the George Soros and all that stuff, and now guess what? At that time, it wasn't the time for the Lord to say, it's time for people to start with the whole sedition among men spirit. But right now is the time, man. Going into what, the end of this year, into next year, man, the whole prophecy stuff, that whole spirit of rebelliousness is at hand. And
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, he's going to come here over to the west side, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, I gave an analogy the other day about, how everything starts from the east and ends at the west. You look at the sun rises from the east
Mm-hmm.
and it sets in the west. Okay. And then when the sun sets, what happens? It gets dark. So the West being America right now, as soon as these things get over here, it's gonna get dark, man. And you gotta understand, Esau's always using the European countries as a test. So you look at Sweden, they're using a chip and they're testing people with that. Okay, you look at the Eastern Hemisphere, which is crazy because the Eastern Hemisphere has people who actually have brains, they actually think compared to the West. But then they're using that over there. They start with France for weeks. It's been over a year now with the whole protests in France. Okay, and they still haven't clamped down with martial law. You go over to Hong Kong, China. Look what's going on over there. And through the spirit, we talked about how it was just protests back then, and it was going to get violent. Now it started getting violent, man. Okay, we just seen a couple of videos of cops running over pedestrians and stuff, protesters and stuff. Okay, you got fire, you got all kinds of madness, man.
Yep.
You think that's not going to happen over here in America? And when it does happen, remember, we're still under national emergency. I
Mm.
feel like people forgot that. We are still under national emergency. So it's going to be very easy for them to say, hey, look, boom, kick into martial law, man. FEMA camps, national troops and stuff. Okay. All these different troops that I was reading an article that they said some of the European countries are telling Trump to keep some of the troops back there because he said he wanted to bring them all back to America. So in return, what's going to happen? They're going to have to substitute. So that Americans are going to send their troops overseas, and overseas are going to send their troops over here. Okay, and then that's how you're going to have that whole NATO troops and all those troops coming over here to take care of business, man. Okay, because guess what? They're facing the same shit over in the European countries, so they're gonna know how to handle things when they come over here. Okay, so
Uh,
you got it.
hey, you mentioned something. You said it starts in the east and ends in the west. Like the sun west, it gets dark.
Mhm.
Now I got a quick precept, and it's
Sure.
John 9:1. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day.
Mhm.
The night cometh when no man can work.
Wow.
Because ultimately once it hits
Yeah, the connection.
America, it's gonna be. That's why the Lord saved this place for last. Okay, it's okay. It's not. Lord's gonna stop us from speaking. All right, because
Yeah, it's shaky.
You hear me?
It logged. I think it logged out. It tells me.
Let me see. Can you hear me? Okay, I see.
Yeah, I hear you,
All right, he's
but I
back.
think it logged out. Oh, here. I think he's back.
I'll put him back.
There you go.
Shalom, man. You
Salakia.
good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So yeah, like I was saying, once it all hits here, because we've been speaking about it, the Lord is gonna stop us from speaking. So long as we're still speaking, guess what? These things, you still have that door of repentance because we're still speaking. Okay. But guess what? Once the Lord stops us from speaking and all this hell starts breaking loose, it's gonna be over. So that's why you see it all over the world. But once it hits Babylon, Babylon is like that ultimate main spot, like the agora of the world. So once it hits this place, man, it's gonna be the biggest, the biggest, baddest for last. That's why it says a time like never before. All right, but because Americans are the most psychotic, man, the most psychotic people, and they're so docile. But once you actually rouse them up, man, it's gonna be a hell of a time, man.
Oh, yeah. That's the spirit that you said that too, because you gotta understand that. Remember, Esau. He's Esau is really brilliant. He's clever because what he's created right now he's created chaos in terms of he's allowing the people to destroy themselves. Okay, and in turn, guess what's gonna happen when he brings down that order, that authority? People are gonna beg him for what? For help, because you've destroyed your communities, you've destroyed the economy, you've destroyed so many things, the transportation system, the food system, all those things. So in order to build everything back up, what's going to happen? You have to start up a new system. And in order to get that new system, they're going to push that whole 5G technology with the whole what? Chip. Okay, so now people are going to have to what? Do what? Okay, you know what? We've messed up our economy. We've messed up everything. In order to come back to some type of civilized society, we got to go with the chip. And I feel like people are going to be raging for that chip, man. Because when you read the letter that Albert Pike sent to Mazzini, what did he
Wait,
say? He said, "What?
I think the brother I told him you say you got a dip, right? I don't know if he still hears this. I think yeah, the brother I told him got a dip because you got to go to work and stuff like that. So yeah, if he goes out, it's fine. We'll just keep going. So
Yeah,
yeah,
fine, fine.
keep
Yeah.
going.
So, he told him what he said. What
Y'all don't
the
see
people are
me?
gonna what? Yeah, we see you. We see you. We hear you. So, he said what? The people are gonna fight to complete exhaustion, man. They're gonna fight against each other to complete exhaustion. Whereas, like, all right, you know what? We destroy them completely. Now they're gonna come to us and beg us for mercy. Okay, they're gonna come to us and beg because they're not gonna have any what moral compass nor religious morals, man. Okay, and that's why they have all these different things going on, like feminist movements and this atheist ideologies and all these different things to what? To suppress your spirituality. Because at the end of the day, everybody in their subconscious knows that there is a higher power. No matter how hard you try to fight it and create all these different scenarios that I'm me and I can do whatever I want, you always have in the back of your mind and your conscience that, yo, listen, my actions will result in consequences. And there is a higher power who created all these things. Okay. And very soon there will be judgment for my actions. Everybody knows that. Even animals know that. Okay. So Esau is trying to say what? No, you know what? There will be no consequences for your actions, man. Just like how he said to Adam and Eve in the garden, what he said, you surely shall not die, okay? Or you're not going to have consequences for your actions, man, which is a lie, okay? And he's deceived the whole world into believing this philosophy, into thinking that there are no consequences for your actions, man. And now look what's going on, okay? And without you thinking that there are consequences for your actions, you've started to believe that there is no God, there is no power. Okay, and then that means that the prophets are of no use. But then guess what? Everything we've been talking about through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Shai is coming to pass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you have to say? What's your defense? Okay, all these things, sedition among men, these are all things that's written in the scriptures that's coming to pass, man. We're living in the manifestation of prophecies of the end times, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we will experience the end times in this lifetime, man. This is it. Okay, you got it, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautifully said, man. Beautifully said. So I'm gonna read a little bit more on the article. It says so we have Lebanon, all right, we have Chile, we have Ecuador, okay, not to forget Iraq, because actually they started actually shooting. Them police over there were actually using a deadly force. Okay, killing people. All right. So it says I
Yeah, connection, man.
play too many games because it has hopefully I got you pull that up. They damn people here. Another. Oh yeah, it's still bad.
Yeah, it's like you can barely hear it. I don't know if it's doing that on the screen, but let me see.
You hear me?
I hear you now. You good now?
Connection is still.
You good?
Yeah, that's just saying. And then later on, we'll come back and we'll hit it even more with scriptures and all that,
Yeah.
because Satan messing with the feed right now. All right, so it says elsewhere in perennial corruption has the just notify me if the connection starts messing up so I could wait. Perennial corruption has the West African nation of Liberia in a state of near constant protest. A change to presidential term limits in Guinea caused deadly riots. So you have where Guinea, they said West Africa, Liberia. It says Mexicans are demonstrating against corrupt and drug cartel violence. All right, so Mexico and masked rioters in Hong Kong are still rallying against their government. Months after the withdrawal of the Chinese extradition bill that sparked their anger. So if you noticed, the anger and all of this, the Lord has put the spirit on them to do it, because it says here they're still rioting months after they withdrew that extradition bill, man. So it's not about, once it starts, the Lord uses the governments to cause the uproar, but the continuation of it isn't even because of them anymore. The Lord has put the spirit on them to do that. Okay? And these things it's prophecy, man. It's literally prophecy. It's like, bro, what else is it? You know? And when it happens, it happens. Like the scriptures say this. Habakkuk 2:3 does not lie, man. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, but it shall come, it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. So we see it happening, and it's as though it happens out of nowhere. Like it just hits, and then boom, 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 boom. It just keeps on hitting, man. Okay, where it's so evident and apparent that this is prophecy. It says, Europe, meanwhile, has seen a general strike and mass marches in Barcelona. So you have Africa, you have South America, you have the Levant where Israel is at. You have Europe. Okay, what you gonna have? Russia, huh?
Asia, China.
Asia. Yep. So it's all over, man.
So now we're just waiting for America.
Exactly. The only place left is where? Here. It says Europe, meanwhile, has seen a general strike and mass marches in Barcelona following the jailing of Catalonian independence leaders on Monday. Dutch farmers have also shut down the country's motorways after the government introduced new emission regulations. And in France, already by most invest thousands better conditions. All right. Uh, loans. Okay. Oh boy. Boy.
Yeah, man. Satan is messing with this thing, man. You know.
We good?
Yeah.
He
So
embedded today. You got nothing embedded. We good? We good?
there you
Okay.
go.
So you know what? You know what? You know what I think we should do? I
Yeah.
think if anything, just bring out whatever precept you have. You could probably get like second Ezra, the ninth chapter, starting at the first verse. We'll read a little into
Con,
that, and then we'll sort of just pause it here, and then we'll resume again in the PM. You know, in the night where the connection might be better. So
con,
this will
con,
be
con,
sort of like a part one, and then we'll finish the article and everything later on.
con. Spirit was willing. Con. There's a book
Yeah,
of
God.
Ezra, chapter 9. I'm gonna start off at 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself." Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
when thou seest part of the sun pass which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay,
That's right.
so guess what? The Lord, you want to break or should I go
No,
for it?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Come.
You got it.
God, it says what? Measure thou the time diligently in and of itself. Who's the Lord talking to? Who's the angel talking to? He was talking to Ezra, right? But now he's talking to us, okay? Because scriptures tell you that everything written aforetime is written for our learning. So this is really a compass and a guide for the prophets to know what times that we're in, man. Okay, and how close we are to our salvation and redemption. Okay, it says what? And when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before. When how did the Lord tell us this before? He told us this even when you go back into the New Testament, okay, when you go into the book of Mark, the book of Luke, Yahushua talked about all these different things, man. Even going back to even Jeremiah, man. Okay, things like Jacob's trouble. Okay, that's all prophecies that's been told aforetime, man. Okay, it says what? Then shall thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And how is the Lord going to visit the world which he made? He's going to start off with what? With miseries, man. It tells you that when you go back into Second Ezra, the eighth chapter. Okay, it says what? Actually, I'll get that right now. Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 50 says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Okay, so when you see earthquakes in diverse places, when you see the riots, when you see people killing each other left and right, when you see famines, when you see pestilence, all these things are what a way the Lord is going to start visiting the earth.
Right.
Okay, and then eventually he's going to start doing it what by his son and the angels coming down over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says what? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Whoa, are we not seeing earthquakes around the world? Okay, are we not seeing even in Cali? We've been seeing a lot of earthquakes in Cali, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we not seeing uproars of the people, which is what sedition among men, which we're talking about right now? Okay, it says what? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so the Lord what foretold what the end of this age, okay, and the beginning of the next
Yep.
age, which is going to be ruled over by Yahushua and the what the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, now when you go into the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time." Okay, that vision that we just spoke
Mm-hmm.
about in the book of Ezra, right, is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, meaning what? It will come to pass. Okay, it will be made manifest. Kind of like how you people sit there and say, "Oh, my great grandmother, da 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 da," all that stuff that the myth, the proverb that's been is never going to be ever again, man. Okay, it says what? Though it tarry, wait for it. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
message to us. We're the ones who are eagerly awaiting the return of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? It's kind of like leaving a child and telling him, I'll be right back. Or leaving a child in school and saying, I'm going to come pick you up later. When that later hits, that 3 p.m. hits, man, that school is closed, he's waiting anxiously. Yo, where's my dad at? Where is he? Where's the car? Every car that passes, he looks out the window to see if that's his dad's car. That's what we're doing right now. Every prophecy that hits, boom. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, what does this say in the scriptures? Oh, bet. Okay, so this is next. All right, cool. You see, so we're very, very anxious. We're waiting for the time. Okay, and it says what? Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Meaning the Lord is he's saying rest assured. Everything that you see is going to follow just like as is been told to happen. Okay, so don't rush. Don't think, oh my God, it's been 10 years and this. Oh, it's been 2 months. Yo, no, just be patient and wait because it will happen in its set time. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the faith that we have in this word, man. And we know it's gonna happen because we've been told it's gonna happen. Okay, we're
Right.
those same the Lord revealed it to us years ago, thousands of years ago, and we wrote it down, and we're here to live that promise that we had to write down back then, man. Okay, so it's very it's high time for us to wake up out of sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for us to rejoice because the end is really near, man. The end is here. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, bro. You got it.
Right. Yeah. With that, basically, that was a beautiful precept. But yeah, the connections. I don't know what it is. Maybe early more in Satan. I don't know what's going on, but we going we gonna end it here. All right, sort of like a halt or a pause, and this will be just like the part one. So Lord
God,
willing, we'll come back, in the evening, in the PM, nice and sharp, where we'll have the brother here, so all three of us will be good, and Lord willing, we could we could there, and edify. So with that, we hope we don't. We'll
that's right.
edifying to brothers. Want to give glory to me, I will shout. Till next time.
Hashem Yahushai.
Shalom.